Hello viewers, welcome to the world of C programming. The best way to learn programming is to practice the function and logic which you see in programming. So many feel that programming is so hard to learn and we cannot design it. As a student, I have faced such situations and I would like to make you clear your doubts. Follow my videos regularly and post the comments in my video. I will definitely solve your queries. So let's start with my video and I will definitely assure you have fun with programming and love to program. Programming allows you to think in logical ways as you face problems in real world. Watch my videos regularly and practice more programming from books which will available to you. So let's start with our basics before going to programming. C was developed in the year 1972 by Dennis Ritchie at Bell Laboratories, USA. C is the basis for learning C++, Java and other languages. This is a simple computer and its structure. The computer is a temporary storage area. It holds instructions and data in CPU. Before a program is loaded into CPU, it is stored in some storage media, that is memory. This is the structure of a simple computer. It is mainly composed of three parts: input, CPU and output. For input we use keyboard, mouse, scanner, webcam, and for output we use monitor, printers, speakers, data projector. Processor is classified into three types: main memory, backing storage, control unit. Main memory is classified into two types: ROM and RAM. We have backing storage such as hard disk, floppy disk, USB port, DVD read and write. Control unit. Control unit performs arithmetic and logical reasons operations. Next we come to memory section. Here we have semiconductor memories. They are used for storing instructions and data in form of ones and zeros. There are two types of memory: RAM, volatile memory; ROM, non-volatile memory. Volatile memory is nothing but its contents get lost when the power goes off. ROM, non-volatile memory. Its contents is present in the hard disk until the user deletes or some damage caused to CPU. The purpose of RAM is processor first reads instructions and data from primary memory and executes these instructions. The purpose of ROM is for providing fixed operations, that is for BIOS, a software that gets loaded when power is switched on, and that BIOS is used for various purposes such as controlling keyboard and various peripherals and for providing serial and parallel ports. BIOS is software that gets loaded from hard disk, that is nothing but from ROM is an OS used to control various peripherals such as keyboard, monitor, printer and to do serial and parallel processing. This slide is about languages. Here we have an diagrammatic representation of language evolution. First part is the lower part or core part, that is hardware, which is nothing but the parts visible to our eyes, that is chips, transistors, motherboard, etc. To deal this with hardware, we need machine language that stores binary language, that is in the form of ones and zeros. Next we comes to assembly language called Next we go to assembly language. It is written in alphanumeric symbols called mnemonics. Example: add, sub, only this type of operations are performed. Disadvantage: these programs are not portable from one computer to another. It is difficult to write and test the program. It is necessary to remember the registers of CPU and mnemonic instructions. Next is high level languages. Procedure oriented languages are high level languages. Example: COBOL, C, C++. It it is in this language it is not necessary to remember the registers of CPU and mnemonic instructions. Advantages: these programs are portable from one computer to another. Testing and debugging is easy. C is a structured language and it is a high level language. In the latest slide you can know why I have used C, why I have quoted that C is a structural language. And next is translators. Translators are the one which convert from one language to another. Here we have three types of translator, that is assembler, compiler, interpreter. Assemblers are used to convert assembly languages to machine language, that is zeros and ones. Compilers are the one which convert high level languages to machine language. Interpreters are the ones which execute the source program line by line and convert into object codes. This is the structure of C programming. This is the format that every C programming must follow. Here we have fields like include header file section, global declaration section, comments, main function, open parenthesis. This is the start of a program with opening flower brace. Here we have declaration part, that is for defining local variables. This is the executable part. Here we define the code which is to be executed and we close the flower brace. Now we will see each line in detail. Include header file section. Header files are standard directories and define the start of every C programming. Each header file has .h extension. The syntax for defining header file is #include with open and closing angle brackets or with double quotes. Next is global declaration function. Here we have global variables and they are constant throughout the function. Next we go for comments. Comments are used to describe a program what you are doing. The rules for defining comments in statements is for slash followed by star and end with star with slash or double slash. Main function, this tells the compiler this is the main part of C programming. Here we have declaration part and executable part. Declaration part for defining local variables. Now we will see how to define a variable. The syntax for defining variables is data type variable name. Example int a. Here we have primary data types 3, 1 int, 2 float, 3 char. Int occupies 2 bytes, float occupies 4 bytes, char occupies 1 byte. Here the format specified for these three data types is int, %d, for float %f, for char %s. Now we come to executable. Here is executable part. We have formatted functions like printf and scanf. Printf for printing output to monitor, scanf reading input from keyboard. The syntax for defining printf is control string variable 1, variable 2, so on, variable n, closing with a semicolon. The syntax for scanf is open parenthesis, double quotes, control string variable 1, variable 2, so on, variable n, close with a semicolon. Control string is nothing but what we have defined here. %d for int, %f for float, %s for char. Now we will go to a simple C program to print hello world. Here we define the header file section. This is header file section. We have written #include studio.h. Studio is nothing but standard input output dot header file. #include conio.h. Conio is nothing but console input output dot h. Then we go to main function. This can be defined in two ways, with void or int. If we declare this as void, it takes no arguments and returns no arguments. If we declare this as int, it should return a value that is equal to 0. Now we will in the letter closing with a flower brush. Now we will execute these statements in Turbo C. Double click on Turbo C, then go to File, then click New, then press F5 for full screen, then save as hello world dot C. Always save files with dot C, then click on OK, then type hash include studio.h hash include korea.h void main int printf hello world new line get here keep clear screen. Here you observe that this clear screen should be here. Okay, here observe that for printf function here no need of control string, just you can, if you give this statement it will display the string on monitor. As I previously explained all these statements, now we will execute these statements. For execution, first press Alt F9. See here, no errors are generated, no warnings are generated. That means we have no error in program. Then press Ctrl F9. See how the output is generated. This is what we want in our program. Then we take another example using scanf. As I have earlier stated, that scanf is used for reading a value from user. This is the header file section. This is the start of the program. We have defined a variable that is of type integer. Here we have defined clear screen to clear the previous screen output. Here we have written printf function. Printf function is used in two types, to print a value or to print a string. Here we have just printed that string enter value. Here we have defined scanf function. This is the %d, its control string and is of type integer. Always we have to put ampersand for reading a variable. A is a integer type variable and we are reading that integer type variable using its control string %d, that is defined in scanf function. The guest function is used to print output in standby function. Now we execute the function by pressing Alt F9. No errors and warnings are found. Then we go for Ctrl F9. Then it asks for a value. We simply type 2. In this example we have seen that we have given a value that is 2. Now we will print that value by using printf. Its printf variable name and it should be placed in double quotes. Always keep in mind, while defining variable, it should be ended with semicolon. For printf and scanf, always end with semicolon. There are some rules and regulations to follow when defining variables and for printf and scanf functions. After this example, I will explain those rules. Now we will see the output. See, it has given that in this example we have seen that we have given a value that is 2. Now we will print that value by using printf. It's printf variable name and it should be placed in double quotes. Always keep in mind, while defining variable, it should be ended with semicolon. For printf and scanf, always end with semicolon. There are some rules and regulations to follow when defining variables and for printf and scanf functions. After this example, I will explain those rules. Now we will see the output. See, it has given that this is the program to read input from the user using scanf. Scanf is used for reading input from the user. Here we have different header files. This is the main section and it is started by using flower brace. We have defined a variable that is of type integer. We have typed clear screen to clear the previous output from screen. Here we have used printf as two ways. Here we have just printing the string using double quotes. Here we have given its control string to print its value. Scanf is printf and scanf syntax are similar, but the only difference is here we keep ampersand symbol. Getch is used for output the screen in standby mode. We run this program, execute this, no errors, no warnings. Here the compiler asks to give a value. We have entered a value 2. Then it prints 2. Here what happened is, first it asks for a value by using printf. We have given input through scanf. Then it prints value of a in %d, that is value 2 is transferred to here %d. Observe that a is transferred here in place of %d. You can observe here given value 2. After given value it is placed. When writing C programs, some rules must be followed by programmers. What are the rules? First rule is every program should have main function, that is main. The main is heart of the function. We should not write a function excluding main. We have to write the overall statements and functions using main, and we have to define inside main. Every statement should be terminated by a semicolon, that is when defining a variable, when initializing, and through printf statements, scanf statements, each statement should be terminated by a semicolon except for main function. If you put a semicolon for main function, it gives an error. C language is case sensitive. You can observe that small ab and capital AB are different. Small ab are used for defining variables and capital A and B used for symbolic constants.